So to start our Christmas series, I thought I'd read a book to you guys.
Hell yeah.
And
All
this is one
right.
of Bobby's favorites. It's What the Dinosaurs Did the Night Before Christmas,
I've always wanted to know.
and you will find out today.
I mean,
Ahem.
I mean, they were only killed, before
This is
Christmas is
actually pretty
around, but
ridiculous.
let's
This is
do it.
actually one of my favorite books that Bobby has.
Man, what I think is hilarious is like take that to someone that's like the evangelical Christian and be
Uh-huh.
like dinosaurs the night before Christmas, and they're like, it can't happen.
No. Ahem.
The world's only been around for 2023 years.
And now, after weeks counting days till the date, still there remained one last eve left to wait. So as I waited, tucked into my bed, with visions of candy canes filling my head, in my room where the clock seemed to not move at all, I decided I heard something out in the hall. Yes, in the hall there arose such a clatter. I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Yes, I braved the dark when I heard a strange sound. You're welcome, you're lucky to have me around. And there, in the Christmas Eve moonlit night, appeared by itself such a marvelous sight. 8 tiny dinosaurs, lively and quick, and one with a beard who I knew was Saint Nick. They spoke not a word, but went straight to their work. Their droll little smiles each turned in a smirk as they sampled the cookies, inspected the lights, and made sure the stockings were hanging just right. Then, finding the jar had been opened since lunch, they tasted each peppermint out for its crunch, and added 2 floors to the gingerbread shack, very helpfully eating it when it collapsed. A brief note before you pass the judgment on what happened next, which is something I doubt you would ever expect. If you found in your hallway a dinosaur crew with a beard-wearing leader, you might have assumed was St. Nicholas coming to hurry along. The thing that you noticed was taking too long. Remember, I had waited a very long time. Then
Yeah.
Santa, whose beard made the claim it was he, climbed to straighten the star at the top of the tree. When it started to wibble and wobble and sway, so he scrambled to quickly get out of the way. And while I'm not sure what first caused me to doubt, as the tree hit the ground and the lights flickered out, in the wake of the fall, I began to suspect that maybe this Santa and Christmas was wrecked. I really got to show you the pictures in this book. 'Cause it's
Yeah. Hold on. I want to see the pictures, Rob.
Hold on.
Can I see them?
That's the Santa Claus.
What the fuck? He's got an awesome mustache.
That's what I'm saying. He was wearing a beard earlier, but the mustache was wrecked.
Okay.
Then light from the just risen sun filled the room, saying, Christmas is here, you must clean this up soon. I had waited for weeks, now I needed more time. And fake Santa was fleeing the scene of the crime. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and lashed to the bottom a little toy missile. He shot out the chimney and streaked across the dawn, in my sled with my candy, and then he was gone. So I straightened the garland, I righted the tree, I reflected on how this could happen to me. And the lesson for all of us seems crystal clear. You can't trust a dinosaur wearing a beard.
Wow.
The
Man.
end.
Rob, do I hear sleigh bells?
No, not yet.
Fuck.
He was trying so hard.
You nailed your line. It was great. But first, we have to do the official tree lighting for the Centerway Society.
Hell yeah, do it.
So, are you guys ready?
You got
That
a
box
switch
is
in
still
everything?
so
I
fucking
have
cool.
a switch in 3,
Uh-oh.
2, 1. It's Christmas!
Wow. Rob, do I hear sleigh bells?
Wait, I know that song.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, the snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird. Here to stay is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along. Walking in winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snow.
And welcome back to the Centerway Society, the second holiday edition, since we had the holiday edition last week with Life Day, which was Dustin's favorite thing to do in the whole wide world.
Yes.
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 So we are here to actually start our Christmas specials that we are going to be doing. Obviously, I love Christmas. It is my favorite time of year. I've said this multiple times on the show. It is also my son's favorite time of year, which is why Christmas is so important to me and why the guys are letting me do this because, well, I like Christmas, as you can tell from the hat and the shirt and,
I had no idea.
Really? Because did I just spring this on you? Or
This is news to me. What?
so we're gonna do a couple different themes for this particular series, and we're not a whole lot of theories are going to be going on in these episodes, but I do have one series of movies that I feel like there's a couple theories out there that I feel like we should discuss, and that is Tim Allen's The Santa Claus.
Yeah.
But
Truly a
before
horror
we
movie.
get in there, let's introduce the guys. He is Santa's favorite elf. It's Jordan.
What the fuck, man? I'm 6'2". If anybody on this should have been an elf, it should have been Dustin. Come on now.
I mean, he's right. Like, y'all are like gigantic.
Yeah, but
There
you're
is this subtle fear in the back of my mind that every time I hang out with y'all are going to pick me up, put me on something high, and I'm not going to be able to get down. I have a fear of heights, guys.
You don't have a fear of heights. You have a fear of consequences. You're not afraid of. You're not afraid of the height. You're afraid of what happens if you fall from the height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless, y'all are tall.
We've got off
All I
track
can
already.
picture now is just like putting like getting like a fish hook for a really tall door and just putting his pants up there and just holstering.
I'll never be able to get down.
Guys!
Yeah. Rob,
Oh my
Podfather,
goodness.
please.
Well, he's been training hard all year for the reindeer games. It's Dustin.
Yeah.
Yeah, reindeer
Yeah.
games.
Reindeer
I
games.
don't even know what the reindeer games actually
I don't
are.
either. It's that
But-
awesome movie with Ben Affleck, right?
Okay.
It does have Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
That's true. So let's get on with it. There's not a whole lot really to cover, but there's a couple things, and it gets a little dark. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a horror movie.
It's the Santa Claus is in fact a horror movie.
It
So
is.
basically, the whole premise of the Santa Claus, for those who don't know, why are you watching this? But anyways, besides the point, Tim Allen's character on Christmas Eve is watching his son. He and his wife are divorced. He gets his son for Christmas Eve, and
Murders
Santa
Santa.
Claus is on his roof, and he falls off. And since he puts the coat and the hat on,
He becomes Santa.
hold on, I'm having issues.
Hold on, because I just started hearing some weird noise over here, and I thought there's nothing behind me, is there?
It's Santa Claus.
Like, well, what? Like, it was like a like creaking noise. So I turned and looked.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything, and then Rob was like,
Like the fucking Grudge, or is it The Ring? I always get the two mixed
"No,
up.
not like the you're talking about the Grudge.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
Grudge." But it was like wood creaking. Granted, this whole house is like there. It's the slat wood kind of everywhere here.
Yeah.
And I just heard the noise, and I was like, "The fuck was that?" But as soon as I turned back, Rob was like,
No, my earbud
Okay.
disconnected for a second. I don't know why. So
"Luck of my
anyways,
terrifying.
so we
Okay.
got off
Yeah.
track again,
You're
which
gonna
happens
be-
constantly in this show.
It does.
It really does. But basically, due to a clause in the Santa Claus contract,
Heyo.
he winds up becoming the new Santa.
Yes.
First.
So let's see here. Where do we start? There's really no happy ones here from what I've been
No.
able to find. The happiest one I've been able to find is that there are two elves that you meet, Bernard and Curtis. You meet Curtis in the second one, and he actually takes kind of over. But the biggest difference between them and the other elves is that they're bigger. Like
Yeah.
they look like human.
Yeah.
And the reason for that, or at least the theory behind it, is that because they are the top elves, like Santa's number 2 guy, because of their rank amongst the elves, they get to grow to be bigger and to separate themselves from the rest of the elves.
Holy shit.
Santa's such a fucking asshole. He's like, if I gotta talk to these two guys the most, I don't want to be bending my neck down all the time. Like, it's gonna hurt, you know. I want to be a
Get
little
up
taller.
here.
What if what if every year or whenever, you know, like the top ranking ones, let's say they leave or they pass away, when he has to pick new ones, what if like they are like the tiny elves, but then he has to, like, they have to go in and they have to like do that surgery where they break the knee and separate it so it
And
grows.
stretched them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be terrifying, man.
It would
And
be.
like,
It's like
And-
if you get selected, you're actually like, no.
I don't want to do that.
and the fact that it's like a status thing, like height is a gift from, because Santa's almost kind of like a god, I
Mm.
guess, like in
To
this whole
them, yes.
mythology,
Oh yeah.
you know? Like, is that the reason why you guys are so goddamn tall?
To be fair, Rob.
Am
told
I
me.
not jolly enough, Santa?
It might be it.
What if
I'm
Santa's
just saying.
actually God?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you got into Christmas just a little bit more, maybe you would get a little bit taller.
His height grew 2 inches. That's
And because Dustin got into Christmas, he grew 3 inches that year.
yeah. No
He's
longer
now
a
5 foot
short boy.
8.
Hey, I'm not that sure.
I was just making a joke.
Yeah.
Damn, that's damn.
So yeah, that is the theory, because
Fuck
they are
Santa.
the higher ranking elves. They get the height.
And Bernard's like the if correct me if I'm wrong, but he's in the first one. Was he in the second one? I know he was in the
first
third,
one,
right?
he was in the second one, but he wasn't in the third one.
Wasn't in the third. That's what it was. Because he was like, I wanted to come back, but they didn't invite me back or something.
Yeah.
The actor that played it, because he's
Curtis-
he's like the sassy, bossy elf.
Yeah,
Man, what
Yeah.
jerks.
Which
I know, right? But yeah, so I have 3 more, and they are
Ooh.
all different
levels
darker
of
ones.
darkness.
The first one being that the former Santa Claus, the one that fell off of Scott Calvin's roof, Scott Calvin being Tim Allen's character,
Correct.
Yeah.
actually staged his own death because he wanted to stop being Santa.
Hell yeah.
He's like, I'm done with this. I've done it for like 300 years. Fuck these kids. They're getting worse every year.
F these kids. It's like Michael Jordan. Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids.
I mean, I really was kind of joking, but it is a curse, right? Like
It's to a degree.
Is it a curse? Because if you find the right person, like Rob, if
Rob
if
would totally be
would
Santa.
kill it as Santa, and he would take it immediately.
Yeah. Constantly
But
has
like,
a banging
for,
beard.
For me, I'm like, I don't know how I could do it. You know, I'm not Santa. I don't think I could be. I couldn't live up to that, and I think it would be for me a curse
Me too.
because I just couldn't live up to being that guy.
Yeah.
Or
could do
Rob,
it.
I think you could.
If you come to Gloucester Matthews Humane Society for their holiday open house on
He's gonna be Santa probably.
I Will Be Santa Claus.
There you go.
Doing charities, fucking being awesome, and a pod father to like pod sons who don't deserve it. The dude's definitely Santa.
Caitlin's going to be an elf. She got an elf
Nice.
costume and everything. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Why is she not Mrs. Claus?
I don't know. She wanted to be an elf. Her decision. I just, respect it.
New theory from the Santa Claus. Bernard Santa, we're doing it.
Oh God. But yeah, so Santa actually he scouted out who he thought should be the next Santa Claus, and that's how he knew what roof to be on, why they made so much noise, why the ladder was right there. Well, he set the whole thing up so that way Scott Calvin could become Santa Claus and he could go off into the sunset and die.
Do you think that, like, so let's in this universe, the Santa Claus universe for the
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
Santa has to die, the new person puts the hat and coat on, and then they take over being Santa Claus, right? Do you
Yep.
think that each Santa Claus, each iteration of Santa Claus, chooses like the most grumpiest, Scroogiest type of person? That way there's character development? Or is it just to like eventually change their heart at some point? Because Tim Allen's character in this movie starts, he's not a really happy, jolly, Christmassy
No,
guy. He loathes it, if anything.
Yeah.
And then he becomes the lovable Santa Claus. And is it really the Santa Claus that is doing that to him, or is it does he change himself because he sees another side of it?
I think it's a little bit of both because it's kind of forced upon him at that point because he doesn't want it. Throughout the entire movie, he doesn't want it. It isn't until you get to it's Thanksgiving
Right.
and Bernard comes back into his life that he's like, oh, and there's like a switch that flips
Yeah.
and he realizes this is what he was meant to be doing, what he's supposed to be doing.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Also, why does if you so
Yeah.
I got to think about the way I have to say this
Yeah.
okay.
because I don't want it to be like insulting by any means. But why, when you become Santa Claus, why do you like he was relatively an average like build of a man, right?
Yeah.
Why does Santa have to just like puff out and grow like the beard? I can understand, but why did he have to puff out? Because wouldn't that make it like overall harder for the chimney stuff, even though it is magic? But like, you know what I mean?
Oh, well,
magic,
also,
man.
why the beard?
Well, the beard is just it's a jolly thing, you know. We all
Maybe
have beards
you
and we're
have
happy.
to be a bit of a bigger individual in order to because it's
Control
kind of
the
like
elves.
not necessarily control the elves, but to be like that is basically the brand. Like holly jolly big old ho ho ho
Yeah,
rolling
fair.
belly and all that.
Or is it like the Flash with this
See-
fucking calorie count? Like he's got to have like a reserve of jolly.
Well, see, that's and this is why I didn't like the way they did it in this. Like he just magically out of nowhere like gains the weight, which is weird to me. But it's like they could have done it with him like eating the cookies.
Yeah.
You know, like they could have played into that better. Like it's like a over. I mean, I guess they probably couldn't have because it's his first Christmas, and you're not.
But
gonna
that's the
eat
thing.
enough
Like
cookies.
his weight progresses throughout the year up until he actually looks like Santa Claus. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen right away, but it's like he even
Right, but
starts to
it's-
notice it
but
where
it-
it's just like, oh,
yeah.
I'm putting on a little weight, and then it's going bigger, and then
yeah.
he's eating more, and
See,
even
I-
goes to his doctor, and he's in good health. It's just
Yeah, I don't remember the showing him eating more part. Does that happen?
well, it was more like in one scene where he goes to the board meeting for the toy company he works for, and he starts ordering all of this food.
Mm.
So
He's got to maintain that level of jolly with enough calories.
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
it's the reverse Flash scenario.
But also
Yeah.
you're living in the North Pole, so you gotta, have
Y-
that.
You would need to have the insulation.
Right. Like for real, guys, it gets to be like 72 degrees outside, and I feel like I'm freezing to death now.
See, I love the cold. Maybe I could.
I mean, I like it too, but like, goddamn, my level for cold has definitely,
Your tolerance for cold has gone downhill.
yeah.
I
that
love the
sucks.
cold, man.
I do love
would,
the cold.
I would much rather be in like 30 degrees than 100 degrees any day.
Same. You can always
Yeah.
put more clothes on.
Yeah, well,
That's
yeah.
true.
You can always be bundled up in a nice scarf. Get you some glove. The gloves are the important part. People miss out on the gloves.
Like a
Exactly.
little, like
Yep.
blanket
Yeah.
burrito and stuff.
yeah, be a
Yeah.
little wrapped up schmiegel, you know.
Uh huh. Yeah. Damn hobbitses and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
All right. So I got two
What you
more,
got? What you got?
and they're both
Dark.
kind of dark.
Love it.
So
This feels like a Jordan episode.
He's
The
like,
Santa,
this is supposed to be super happy, but all I can do is depress you guys.
yes, I know. The Santa that died at the beginning of the Santa Claus.
Uh huh.
Well, the theory goes that he's been Santa for so long, because you do find out that this guy was Santa for a long time. I think it was either in the third one or in the Disney Plus show.
It might have
They-
been the Disney Plus show.
They were
'Cause I-
talking about
I-
because he actually goes and you see like the snow globes
Yeah.
from all the past Santas.
There
Yeah.
was a Disney Plus show.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
it was like a 6 or 8 episode arc that came out last year, and they just did a second season that released, I think, last week.
Wow.
So
Guys, I can I interject real quick? I'm sorry.
sure.
This is off topic. I just got a text from my lovely wife, my betrothed, that
Uh-huh.
says she's writing her book right now. She's writing her second book in her series. Just FYI, I'm Googling how long it would take. Oh, sorry. I'm Googling how long it would take to poison someone with wolfsbane. Just know it's for my book. I'm not trying to murder you. That's what I'm dealing with on the daily right now, guys.
All right. Well, there we go.
Good luck, Jordan.
If
If anything
I die,
happens to you,
no, if I die, if I die of weird things,
Spain poisoning.
tell someone to check me for wolfsbane.
All right.
I don't know what the fuck that is, but I'm terrified.
We already know who we know who the first suspect is. Um,
But yeah, because I remember the first 3 movies. The third movie not as much. I'll be
Yeah.
honest. The first 2 I remember pretty decently, but I don't remember them going into the previous Santa.
I'm pretty sure it was in the Disney Plus show, if I remember right.
Yeah.
But basically, the previous Santa to Scott Calvin was he was a very good Santa. But the years prior to his death, he had gotten a little lazy. People stopped believing in him. People stopped
he was
believing in
burnt out.
Santa. All-time, basically, morale for Santa Claus and around Christmas was at an all-time low. So the elves may have
Poisoned him. Oh my god! If I interjected and mentioned the poisoning, and then we
Yeah.
talked about poisoning right after,
no, not
oh
poisoned,
my god, I poisoned.
but they set him up so that he died on his final trip.
They poisoned the cookies, and then he.
No, it wasn't about poisoning the cookies, but who sets up his clothes? Who makes sure that his boots are good to go? Who
The
makes
elves.
sure that he has exactly?
Oh
So
my
the
God.
elves set him up so that way he would slip and fall.
They put like oil on the bottom of his boots.
That's what I'm saying.
is this can I do Game of Thrones spoilers, or is this
Sure,
still
go
too
ahead.
soon?
I'm
Okay.
never gonna watch Game of Thrones all the way
I
through.
Is
don't
this-
care about Game of Thrones.
Wait, y'all never watched the Heavy?
I've
No.
watched the first season.
Fuck.
It's
Okay, it's not
okay.
gonna make it. I was gonna say, is this like the Jon Snow thing, like for the watch? Like
Yeah.
fucking,
I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't help you with that.
But the
I don't know.
elves
Okay.
felt like he was
I
no
know
longer
winter's
doing
coming.
a good job. So they set him up to die
Okay,
on that
All right.
Christmas Eve.
all right.
That's
Damn.
insane.
So what? It was like Santa's a tyrant. Get him out of here. Like he's been around too
Well,
long.
they know they need.
We don't like his new
Santa.
policies.
What if like Bernard was like, I'm gonna step in and save Christmas, and I'm gonna become Santa, and was actually trying to get to like the coat and the hat, but it just so happens that Tim Allen's character happens to get to it first.
That's some
Mm.
drama.
Because think about how Bernard, when Tim Allen's character first comes into it, he's like annoyed that
He's grumpy as shit.
He's grumpy as fuck that he's Santa.
Yeah,
Did we just figure something out?
I think we did.
I think Bernard
It
was
was.
gunning for the spot, and then Bernard was like, "You know what? This guy ain't half bad. Fuck. Think he's gonna.
Now we got to
work.
keep him.
Damn
around.
it. Damn it.
Or did he like solidify his plan? Like one movie later, he Tim Allen would be slipping on a roof.
Well, I'm just saying, like they even said in the second movie that morale for Christmas was at an all-time high. People appreciated Santa more. People
You
believed in Santa
can't
more.
knock off Santa if everything's going good, right?
That's what I'm saying.
All
that
I'm saying
and
is,
Scott
there's a-
Calvin wasn't that bad of a guy, so they actually
No.
liked him.
yeah,
So
he did a lot for the elves' rights.
exactly, he was pro-union.
He was a
Wow.
tall elf. He's been there the longest. He deserves that spot. Tim
But
Allen didn't deserve it. He just fell into
there's
the
a
role.
reason Bernard wasn't there for the third movie.
Yep.
He was
What
plotting.
if Scott what if he found out that Bernard was plotting and then he murdered him or had him murdered?
Oh
Ooh.
my
Or he's in elf
God.
jail.
Is there
Like-
an elf jail?
There
Like,
has to be, right?
There
Like
has to be an elf
fucking
jail.
like Santa's Azkaban. It's like
It's the South Pole. I'm going with this. I think he's in a candy cane jail
Yeah,
yeah.
candy cane jail.
on the South Pole.
Oh
And-
yeah.
very
and,
good
he's,
possibility.
and every day he's trying to look his way out.
Yeah.
All right. So one last theory.
I'm
Ooh.
digging it, Rob.
I hope
It's the
I hope it's a-
darkest theory.
It's been
Hell
good so
yeah.
far, so I'm hoping this one's like
It is the
up
most
there.
jacked up theory.
Oh fuck yeah, give it to me.
Yeah.
So
Say it slow.
there is a Mrs. Claus, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's brought up in one of the films.
In the second movie. Great.
Uh-huh.
So Santa has kids. Scott Calvin had kids with
Yeah,
Mrs.
yeah,
Claus. You find that out in the Santa Claus and the TV series or the
Yeah.
Disney Plus series. So obviously there is it's there. There is precedence for this. That Santa Claus not only is married because there's a Mrs. Claus, but Santa
having
can have kids.
Yeah.
And you know now, because of the TV series, that there is been 60 other Santa Clauses
Oh
because
my
you see the
God.
snow globes.
What are you about to say? You're about to say some real wild shit, Rob. I can't wait.
What happened? Because Santa Claus died, right? He fell off the roof. This has obviously had to happen before.
Is it
Or-
the same Mrs. Claus?
No.
He's outliving his family, right?
What happened to Mrs. Claus? What happened to the children?
Do they just fucking
And
disappear?
why, oh, why do the elves have an extra large oven that you see in the second Santa Claus?
Rob, that went way darker than I thought.
It really did. Holy shit.
Is that how the theory goes?
Rob's going over here. He's like, "Yeah, we're discussing Krampus, not Santa Claus."
The theory goes that when the new Santa Claus takes over, as the new Santa Claus is going about his duties, Mrs. Claus and the children are rounded up, baked, and served to the elves to prolong their lives.
They need the protein until the
Oh
new
my
Santa comes
God.
around.
I thought you were gonna say that they got like Thanos snapped, like Mrs. Claus was just in the North Pole and she's like,
Because
I'm not feeling so good, and then just
Dustin,
yeah,
no.
It's
No,
even
according
worse.
to this theory, because if you watch the Santa Claus, I believe it's either the second or the third one, they actually go into the kitchen of the elves, and there's just a really, really big oven. And for people that small, why do you need an oven that big
Well,
if you're
there's
not
a lot of them,
baking people?
but there's a lot of them too. So maybe when they make their
Sure.
meals, they make one big meal so they can all eat together, communal
Yeah.
type. Or it could just be Mrs. Claus and the kids that are being
That's
baked
what I'm
together.
saying.
but that's
What-
not practical, Jordan. Have you ever tried to cook something that big? It don't work very well.
Takes time.
takes hours and hours and hours.
They
No.
have time.
They have time. They have hours and hours and hours as Santa Claus is.
You don't think they
roaming the
have any
globe.
small ovens they can cook other meals on while they're waiting?
Probably be more practical to have a bunch of smaller ovens.
I'm just saying, that's a big oven. What do they need it for? If they're
Yeah.
not cooking like Mrs. Claus and
They're
the kids?
cooking and eating people. This is awful. They're like the Ewoks from Star Wars.
They
That ain't jolly or cute at all.
No, this last theory is awful.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Wow.
You know how like everything comes from something? Is this like where we got gingerbread men from? They were like, Christmas.
Oh god,
Man.
yeah. that-
Shit,
I've been-
Rob.
I've
Yeah,
been
that-
sitting on that
that-
one for a little bit. I'm
that
just
hit
like, this
a-
is so weird. I don't
got-
know what to feel about it.
That got dark.
It really
did.
did.
Yeah.
So I am kind of curious what happened to Mrs. Claus and the kids. Like all
Alright.
these other. It just
I'm not gonna lie, this is putting me in the Christmas mood. I'm kind of digging this. Like,
that's all you
I
had
was
to do is
like,
make it
oh
dark
man, we're
Christmas.
gonna be talking about like Mariah Carey and fucking Christmas stuff, and then like Rob comes in with like
Just hold on.
the Christmas
Mariah,
bangers.
understand that people that actually like Christmas don't like Mariah Carey usually.
no.
Okay.
A lot of us don't. Like I
All
like
right.
Christmas. So I'm not Rob level Christmas, but I can't stand that fucking song.
Neither can I. Honestly, there's much better versions of that song.
Yeah, like
So-
the song he sent me, Dropkick Murphy song. That's
Yeah.
an awesome song.
Oh, that
they
song's
talk about
great.
eggnog. I love eggnog.
Dude, Real Big Fish has a great Christmas album.
August Burns Red has a good
August
Christmas
Burns
album.
Red. Bad Religion
What?
has a phenomenal Christmas album.
You've never heard the August Burns Red Christmas album?
No.
It's just it's
Oh.
instrumental. They do
Yeah.
all the melodies and stuff on guitar.
But it's
a lot
so
of
good.
shredding.
Rob. I had
Yes.
an excellent idea because I want to hear all these. Right? Can
Okay.
you make a Centerway Society Christmas playlist and throw it up on the Facebook?
Absolutely.
I love how he said the Facebook, like the original name of Facebook from like
The
2004.
We're gonna
The-
throw it on the Facebook.
Back when
And-
it was back when you
well-
had to have a .edu to log in
We'll announce it on the YouTubes.
on the YouTube.
We'll post it on the
No
interwebs.
ads.
Yeah.
No, I'll make a Spotify playlist of like I'll send you guys like songs and see what you think.
Okay.
But it's gonna be all probably it won't. I'm debating whether to put
Did Proto Man ever do Christmas? thing?
Proto Man. I hope so because Proto Man is great.
You ever
So-
listen to Proto Man, Dustin?
I don't know who it is.
So
Proto Man.
Rob turned me onto them many
Oh,
years ago.
good.
It is a band that covers the Mega Man theme songs.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
No, they don't cover them like explicitly, but they're basically having concept albums that's all based around Mega Man. Like the first EP they put out was actually about Proto Man, his death, and then Mega Man being built. And then I'll send it to you, Dustin, because it's
Yeah.
so good. Their second album was called Father of Death, in which you actually follow what happens between Dr. Wily and Dr. Light.
Yeah.
It is phenomenal. I saw them in a bowling alley in Richmond.
I'm digging
were
this. This sounds
so good.
awesome.
He's like, this is right up my alleyway.
This has
Yeah.
nothing to do with Christmas, but I will talk about Proto Man for a while if you let me. So no, they are
Never
so
heard
good.
of this. This is all brand new to me.
Well, we will, but yeah, we'll put together a Christmas playlist. We'll see if we put some original songs on there. We'll throw some classics, I guess. Well, maybe not classics. I don't know. We'll see. I
Yeah.
will put it up to a vote for the guys and see what they think. But dude, Bad Religion's Christmas album is actually really, really good. I
Yeah.
love it.
I dig
It's good. So,
Yeah.
all right, we're done. There's really not a whole lot to talk about with Santa Claus. It's a really good series of movies. It is one of my Christmas
It's fun.
favorites.
It's definitely fun.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
It's a good family friendly type thing. to watch.
Yeah. And-
Although there's a lot of murder.
there is.
And
And
curses.
next week, well, it won't be quite so family friendly. Next week we will be tackling a Christmas movie that came out last year, which if this movie actually slowly planted the seeds of what became the Centerway Society, because after the movie we
It
stood
did.
around talking about it for so long that it made us want to start a podcast so we could talk about movies like this.
It did.
Yeah.
So
At Centerway.
It's our
It's
it's our
Yep.
origin story.
it is our
Yeah.
origin story. So next week, we
Pretty
won't
sure Uncle
necessarily-
Ben
we're not going
died
to be
in-
talking about
in-
theories, but we're going to be talking about Violent Night.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, we
Go see it.
cannot recommend it enough.
It was fantastic.
Such a fun movie to go see.
Yes.
So,
It was.
so we'll be talking about that next week. Until then, we'll let you know. You can go see the facebook.com at the Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/the Centerway Society.
And on
what-
the YouTubes.
and on the YouTubes and the Spotify's and the Apple Podcasts and all the others.
Yeah.
But we'll post when we have our official Centerway Society Christmas playlist up and running. I'll try and have it done by Friday or when this episode comes out, but I probably won't. But you never know. But until next week, we'll see you guys then, and enjoy this wonderful Christmas season because it is so fun. And I really am determined to get Dustin into the holiday spirit.
I think you already got him
Rob.
there.
Do I hear sleigh bells? Was that too late?
No, you're fine.
It was
All right,
okay.
bye guys.
See
Thanks a
ya.
lot.
Sleigh bells are ring, are you listening? In the lane, the snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird. Here to stay is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along. Walking in a winter wonderland.